Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints View, the channel for Sunday content for our match preview ahead of Sunday's final game of the season against Huddersfield Town. Yes, it is the final game of the season. Where's the time gone? Honestly, it feels like only about a month ago we were kicking off the season with a drab 0-0 at home to Burnley, getting beat at Everton, losing a lead against Leicester at home, that amazing day out at Selhurst Park. That all doesn't feel that long ago, and oh my god, that was at the beginning of the season. This season's been one of the fastest ones for me, I think. And well, if we look at the game that we're obviously playing, final game, doesn't really get much easier on paper, that is. Now I think this might actually be the final match preview for a Huddersfield Town Premier League game on YouTube for a good amount of time. I can't see them coming back up next season. Obviously they got relegated. Their relegation was confirmed almost 2 months ago. So very, very poor sides. One of the worst Premier League sides in history, unfortunately for them. It doesn't look like they're bringing many fans either. So for me, all the sort of aspects that could go wrong are actually going in our favour. So we need to definitely put on a good performance to send the fans home happy. Of course we're safe. We knew we were safe a couple of weeks ago. So for me, I see this as an opportunity to not just win, but win by a good margin. I don't think we've seen a win by 3 goals under Huddersfield. We haven't seen one, I don't think, since the Everton 4-1 back in November 2017. So it's long overdue for a nice convincing win. And like I said, this is probably the best opportunity we'll get. Huddersfield has said that he's going to play a better side than he did at West Ham. West Ham was clearly giving himself an opportunity to look at the players that may be leaving, the likes of Fraser Forster, Mayo Elyounoussi. Those two, I think, are the main ones. And obviously those two didn't take their chance, so we'll go on to Sunday, send the fans home happy with our strongest possible 11 to get a convincing win. And I think we will. I definitely think we'll win the game convincingly. I'd like to think so. We're definitely good enough to do it. It's a case of whether we'll actually perform on the day. But I also expect Huddersfield to give us a bit of a game because it's their last one in the Premier League. I mean, if I was Huddersfield, I'd want to be finishing off on a high, putting all the effort we can and trying to get some sort of result. A point I think would be alright for them to send them on their way to the Championship with a little bit of positivity from what's been an absolutely horrendous season for them. One player from Huddersfield that I actually quite like is, I can't remember his first name, but it's Grant, who came from Charlton in January, scored a couple of goals for them. I think he's actually their top scorer now, and obviously signed in January from from League One. So I think he'll get a good couple of goals for them in the Championship next season, sort of between 15-20. And I do think they'll cement some sort of playoff push potentially. I don't think they'll be back up here for a while though, but let's not worry too much about Huddersfield. Let's look at us. The final game of what's been a very mixed season. In all honesty, I'm very happy to see the back end of it. It's not been too inspiring for me, especially the first half up till Mark Hughes' sacking. It was just awful. The side was so abject, and Huddersfield came in, as we know, improved them. There was still clearly a lot of problems, but he improved them quite significantly to the extent where now our form is typical of sort of top 10, top 8, which is where we want to be next season, and that's what I'm excited for. This football season, not just Southampton, this whole football season with like Spurs and Liverpool getting to the Champions League final with comebacks, like I'm exhausted from football. I love it, but I've been exhausted from the football, so I need the sort of 2 months or so that we're going to get off. But I think it'll be a good summer for us. Whether that's in recruiting players, selling players, the hierarchy of the club, because obviously we're looking for a chairman and football director or director of football still. So for me, I think we just finished on a high with this one. It's a great opportunity, like I said, the best on paper, and it's a good thing that we're actually mathematically safe, because I wouldn't really want this game, last game of the season, only to confirm safety, only because we'd definitely bottle it, wouldn't we? Let's be honest, we would given easiest game on paper and we would have bottled it to stay up. But let's not worry about that, because obviously we're safe. I'm rambling on a little bit now, so I think I'm going to start wrapping up. I'm going to go with a very, very confident 4-0 prediction. That's very confident, isn't it? God, what have I been drinking? Yeah, I honestly can't see them well, I can't really see them scoring. Maybe Grant will score, obviously I've backed him. But for me, I think we're solid. Obviously we don't have two of our best defenders available, Vestergaard and Yoshida, they're still injured. So it'll probably be Stevens and Bednarek starting, which is okay. Stevens, well, we know what Stevens is like, but Bednarek's had a fantastic campaign. And for me, I think we just go play our football, make the fans happy, maybe sell a few more season tickets for next year, but with a good performance. And then this summer, we'll see what happens, but I'm very much looking forward to next season, as you guys probably are as well. But thank you very much for watching the final match preview of the season. Where's the time gone? Let us know your score predictions in the comment section below, and we'll see you on Sunday. Now for the preferred 11. As I said in my preview, I feel like we should be going for our strongest side, and I think we will be going for our strongest side. So it's a pretty standard team that we've gone for the majority of the last, couple months. Starting off with our goalkeeper. Some fans are saying that he could be off. Why, I don't know. Or then he's not going to be our number one for next season. Why, I don't know. Spent 15 million odd quid on him in the summer. It's got to be Angus Gunn. Of course it's got to be Angus Gunn. No more room for Fraser Falls. So I'd like to think that the West Ham game was his last appearance in a Southampton shirt. I've got a deep feeling that it's not going to be, because we're not going to be able to offload him. But it's got to be Angus Gunn, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him next season. And then looking at a back four, due to the injuries of Yoshida and Vestergaard. At right back it is of course Jan Valery. Fantastic cross a couple of weeks ago against Bournemouth. Did have the mistake at West Ham last time out, but did win goal of the season for his goal at Man United and best young player for the first team at the Player Awards this week. Very much deserved, and it's got to be a starting spot for him at right back. Now the centre backs, pretty self-explanatory with the injuries that we have. Jack Stevens and of course Jan Bednarek. Some may say this could be Stevens' last appearance in a Saints shirt. Regarding whether Hasenhüttl looks to offload him, that could be a loan though. Whether it will be a permanent deal, I'm not too sure. Or it might even stay just to give a bit of depth. Not really quality though. And of course Bednarek, very much in contention for best young player in the first team, that award that obviously Valery inevitably got. He's been fantastic this year, as we know, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him pairing up with Vestergaard in what should be a 4-2-4, what should be a 4-2-2-2 next season. And of course at left back it is Ryan Bertrand. Didn't have the best of games at West Ham, it has to be said. Some have questioned his sort of commitment to the team. Well, not necessarily commitment, but because obviously he cares about the club very much. But I think it's sometimes he looks a little bit abject with his performances, with his running, not really tracking back, sometimes not, you know what I mean. He's got the tendency to do that. But for me, by far our best left back. Going on to the midfield, in terms of deep, I'm going to go with Romeu and Højbjerg. The two have built a fantastic partnership with the injury of Lemina. I didn't really think Lemina was fantastic at West Ham either. No one was, of course. But for me at the moment, that's our best defensive pairing. I think Lemina needs to be looking at an attacking role next season. He's not really that defensive minded. You got the skill there, you got the passing ability. I think everything for him is more of an attacking minded midfielder. So it's very interesting to see whether he plays in that sort of role next season. But for me, there's no space for Lemina. It's Romeu and Højbjerg in the deep line role. And then the next two, fans player of the season and players player of the season, Mr. Nathan Redmond. What can I say? He's been superb. The stats don't lie. What is it? 8 goals, a couple of assists as well. And I think he must be looking at double digits for next season. That's got to be the aim. Ward-Prowse, again, a very strong contender for that Player of the Season award. Did get the honorary award from Terry Payne, which was very well deserved. He's another one who's sort of turned things around under Hasenhüttl, isn't he? And it'd be interesting to see if there is a place in the first team for him next season in terms of the starting lineup. Obviously, he plays on the bench, but it just depends on who we bring in. But for me, I think he's one of the first names in the team sheet, and he's got to be for next season as well. And then finishing off, I think Shane Long deserves another start. He's been our best striker of late with his goals. Again, wasn't great at West Ham, got the opportunity to start, but then his partner Danny Ings should give him a little bit of support, as was seen against Bournemouth a couple of weeks ago. I would like to see Ings get a goal. I think he deserves it. He hasn't really set the world alight of late. Got a couple of assists against Wolves, but since then, goal scoring hasn't been great. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think his last goal was against Huddersfield in the reverse fixture when we beat them 3-1 at their place with the penalty. Please let me know if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm thinking is sort of in the moment as I'm filming this. But that's my preferred 11. Gunn, Valerie, Bednarek, Stevens, Bertrand, Romeu, Højbjerg, Redmond, Ward-Prowse, Long and Danny Ings. That is our final preferred 11 of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like if you have enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't yet already. Let us know the team you'd start with on Sunday. Do you think we should go with the strongest side, or should we still be looking to give a few more fringe players a try? And we will see you on Sunday.